What's up guys, in today's video I will be reviewing the T-34-85 RUDY and seeing if the RUDY is worth the gold or if it's even still relevant today with all the premium tanks that have been added to tier 7. The RUDY has 1,272 hit points, which is about average for a medium tank at tier 7. The armor really isn't the best, with the front of the turret sitting at 90, the sides 75, and the rear 52. In the front of the hull at 75, the sides 45, and the rear 40. Unless you know how to manipulate the armor, you'll get pinned all day long. We'll look at the armor more in Armor Inspector later in the video. The view range is decent at 278.8, which is enough to spot enemies for your team. The concealment is pretty decent and enough to work with. The DPM of the RUDY is very good at 2,689. The reload time is also good at 4.46 seconds. The penetration is where I really believe the RUDY struggles. Against tier 6s and some 7s, the pen is good, but when going up against more armored tier 7s and especially tier 8s is when the penetration starts to fail you. In the replays, I used gun rammer instead of calibrated shells because I was just an idiot and forgot to change it out, but I highly recommend you use calibrated shells. The damage is pretty standard for a medium at tier 7, with the AP sitting at 200, APCR 170, and the HE 300. The aiming time and dispersion are pretty good, sitting at 3.6 seconds and 0.326 respectively. For situations you need to use it, the gun elevation is good at 22 degrees, but the gun depression is not the greatest at 8 degrees. In certain spots, you will not be effective because of that. The speed of the RUDY is good, with the top speed going forward 52, in reverse 20, and an average speed of 37. This is more than enough to get into position and get some spots or reposition to support your team. The turn rates on the RUDY are very good, with the turret turn rate being at 55.89 and for the hull 67.32 degrees a second. The terrain crossing capacity and engine power look pretty good for the RUDY. I'll flash the consumables, provisions, ammunition, and equipment I use on the RUDY. That is just how I personally like to run the tank. The front of the RUDY, anyone can pin you. As you can see, the upper hull is not that strong. The lower plate really isn't that strong either. The only real spot that you would probably bounce on the front is the turret, these cheeks over here that are slanted. That's really the only spot other than the gun mantlet that people will bounce you. Everywhere else, they will be able to pin you. As you can see, on the side, everybody will be able to pin you unless you get a lucky bounce. And there's really no chance that you'll bounce anything from the back unless they end up hitting your back cheeks right here. Earlier, I mentioned that you can manipulate the armor. This is what I mean by that. If you come out at an angle like this and they end up hitting your front plate, they will ricochet. As you can see, the armor is very much improved from earlier when you saw it. And that's really it. That's the only manipulation that you could do unless you do like a side scraping thing, which they will end up bouncing you as well. The credit coefficient for the RUDY is 150%, which is pretty good for a tier 7. How would you play the RUDY? You definitely don't want to be on the front line since its armor really isn't that good. The RUDY is not a team-dependent tank, but you want to be more of a supporting role for your team. Some tactics that the RUDY is good at is spotting for your team, peekaboo, circle of deathing, 1v1s depending on the enemy and if you think you can take them on, and flanking. With the mobility and situational awareness of how the battle is going on, you can quickly flank the enemy, catch them off guard, and secure the win. I have two replays for you. Both of them are against tier 7s and 8s. For this battle, I push towards base C and immediately spot the enemy mediums and lights. Because of the gun depression on the RUDY, I am not able to get shots off, so I decide to reposition and support our Chimera. When he pulls out, he has the alpha damage, so he could get a nice chunk out and I could have the DPM to constantly dish out the damage. As you see right there, we did exactly that. He gets out the alpha damage shot, I activate adrenaline and start getting more shots off. Of course, one of my shots hits the enemy Chimera's tracks and does not go through. He misses his shot, so I try to aim in on that cupola, and of course it goes flying out of nowhere. I don't know where it went, but when that MO1 got spotted, I realized that the entire enemy team was pushing on us, the 3 mediums, and I know this is going to be a losing battle. There's no way that 3 of us could hold off the entire enemy team. So I make a tough decision right here, and you guys might criticize me down in the comments below, but I have to use my teammates right here as a distraction to run away and reposition with the bulk of our team so that we could counterattack them once they take out our medium tanks. I know that sounds really bad and messed up, but that's the only way that we were going to win this battle, is if I ran away and used my teammates as a distraction. I flanked around and I am with the rest of my team, so I decided to start counterattacking, and I make a very stupid decision right here. I go very front line. Remember earlier in the video when I said don't go front line, this is more of a supporting tank? This is a perfect example of what happens. I am way too aggressive. I'm literally the front line now, and I just get lit up, and I'm lowered down to a one shot. I have to be very smart now. I can't make any more stupid decisions. If I do, I'm being sent back to the garage. I need to stay in it for the long haul and make sure my team wins this battle. I'm trying to get back into cover and take out this CDC. We end up taking him out, and I really expected that AMX 13-75 to start pushing in after me. However, he's distracted by one of my teammates, so I am able to get a shot off into him. I pull back and I just take my time real quick and observe the battle. I notice that the MO1 is pushing towards us. He could easily snap a shot into me and finish the rest of his clip into our SU-130. I decide to push up and help our team take out the AMX 13-75. That AMX is just punishing our tank and Stein, so I'm gonna rush in there and try to help him out. I'm at least gonna get one more shot off before that ISU takes him out of the game, sending him back to the garage. In the process of doing that, the MO1 managed to clip out our SU-130. I try to pull out, get a shot into him. Of course it ricochets. At this point, I ricochet every shot, but the second one went through, and can I get a third one out? No, of course it hits the rocks. I should have waited on that shot and not risked it. We cap out base C, and I'm just gonna wait here for my team to push forward. If I push forward, he's easily gonna take me out of the game. I'm a one shot. But if my team pushes forward and he starts focusing them, then I can rush in and take him out like I am doing right now. I heard him start firing off his clip, so I rush in, go around to the side, I get one shot into him, and I'm gonna use the speed of this tank to quickly get around, pop off the second shot, and of course it's a ricochet. And I got really scared right here. I thought he was about to take me out, because if I'm not mistaken, he had one more shot left. I believe I heard him fire off 3 shots, but I'm not entirely sure if he did or not. Either way, we end up sending him back to the garage. All that's left is the RHM, and I have not seen him the entire battle, so I assume that he is AFK. I switch to HE and I go over there, but he's nowhere to be seen. So he is not AFK, he is active. Where has he been the entire battle? Of course, there he is. He's camping in this spot all the way across the map for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, what is he doing? Either way, I'm just gonna lay a bunch of shots into him and get a good amount of damage before our team manages to take him out and we get the one. We did 2,463 damage, 2 tanks destroyed, and the first class. As you can see, it is a pretty decent credit maker, the Rudy, and we get second on the leaderboard for that battle. We pushed over to base A, but nobody was over here besides that LTG that is running away. And if you count the minimap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, quick maths, the entire enemy team is over by base C, about to plow through our heavies and TDs. We need to start moving over there as quickly as we can. I make my way behind the enemy, so 1, it is an element of surprise. They will not be expecting that. And 2, I could distract a few of them from focusing our heavy tanks and get them focus me instead. Like this Hori right here, we managed to get quite a few shots into him before the Black Prince starts pulling up, and we are able to track him in place. And now I decide to go over and help out our heavy tanks real quick. It looks like they're struggling with these mediums and lights. I just take out that T-20 for them real quick, and now I'm going to hold off these heavy tanks from pushing too aggressively. I punish that 50 TP, but the Hori comes out of nowhere and nails me from behind. I considered rushing out into the open towards the enemy heavy tanks, but I realized I would have been deleted in like 2 seconds, so I turn around, get another shot into that Hori, and I start pushing him. Luckily, I get a bounce. Even if he hit me, I was willing to take that hit, and now we can focus this Black Prince back here. He's too focused on our E25 to realize that we're even behind him and hitting him right now, so he's just free damage at this point. I'm getting as many shots as I can, and of course I miss one of my shots as usual, but I just lower him down to a 1 shot for our team and focus on the next target. There's the 50 TP. He just fired, so I don't really have to worry too much about him getting a shot into me. I get 1 shot, I rush in, get another shot, setting him on fire, and our team takes him out. All that's left is the enemy Lorraine 40T, and he's just free damage at this point. Is the T-34-85 RUDY worth the gold? At the time of recording this video, it is in a bundle and you can buy it separately. The bundle is 5,000 gold, and just for the Rudy by itself, it is 3,500 gold. It is bundled with the Poodle, so if you end up getting the bundle, I highly recommend it. That is a steal price for 2 premium tanks. But if you already have the Poodle and you just want the Rudy, 3,500 gold is an absolute steal for the Rudy. I would highly recommend getting this tank if you do not have it in your garage yet. I don't play the Rudy too much, but when I do, I absolutely love playing it, and I play it for hours, if not days straight, if I have the time. The Rudy isn't overpowered or overly broken. It is a good, solid tier 7 premium medium tank that's just fun to play. I wish Wargaming added more tanks like the Rudy, where it's fun to play, you have a good time playing it, and you don't feel bad because of how broken the tank is and the enemy can't do anything about it. Do you guys want to find out if the Centurion 5.1 is worth the gold? Then go ahead and click on this video and find out if the 5.1 is really worth your gold or time or even money.